Howdy and welcome to the May 2015 HERF review video. This is the cigar we're going to be smoking tonight. As you can see, it's a Lancero. As I look at it, first thing I notice, very veiny. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad, but it certainly leaps right to mind. It's got a nice dark chocolate look to it. I can see it's a little toothy in places, and it definitely has a very oily sheen. I'm really looking forward to trying that out. Next thing I'm going to do is just kind of check along the barrel here. Feels pretty consistent, just a little soft at the foot though. Cap feels good. Just give it a little smell. Definitely picking up hints of chocolate, maybe a little hay, certainly some cedars as you're going to get from all tobaccos. But offhand, I gotta say, it's not a super strong smell. It's very subtle. So, without further ado, time to cut and light it up. Okay, so I just want to say, for those of you following along at home who just saw the clipping, that was extremely smooth. That was one of the best, most smoothest cuts. Obviously, well constructed. Now we're going to go ahead and light it up. Okay, so first off, initial thoughts. Some definite complexity here. I'm getting a touch of sweetness, but not chocolate like I smelled off the wrapper. A bit of salt, which is highly surprising, but not unwelcomed. Maybe a touch bitter. It might be a little young, might just be on the start. Okay, so for this video, I want to talk a little bit about sizes. Tonight we're doing a Lancero. Lanceros are a very unique shape. They are an old school Cuban shape. They're considered by many to be the truest description of the flavor of a cigar. Due to the narrow ring gauge, it's where you have the greatest amount of wrapper to the smallest amount of filler ratio. A lot of people say that it really gives you the most wrapper flavor with the least amount of watering down from the filler. Some people will say Lanceros are better, some people will say they're not. They can be difficult to smoke. You can't smoke them too quick or you will have construction issues. But just the same, you can't ignore them either because they will go out on you. A lot of people say Lanceros are not for beginners. This is a more experienced cigar guy's size. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know there are some darn good ones out there and I'm enjoying this one so far. Okay, so we're about halfway into the first third here. I've noticed a couple of really cool things. First of all, the flavor has stayed very consistent from the front. This bitterness, the saltiness, the touch of sweet just in the background. Also, I'm liking it's got a nice ash going already. It's a very solid white, no flowering, really speaks well of the construction. And then just something I've personally noticed, at the burn line when taking a draw, I've noticed a little bit of a flare or a sparkle or something. I'm not quite sure what that is. I think it perhaps it's the oil lighting up at the wrapper level. Take a look for that while you're smoking yours. So, I'm about halfway through the second third now. I've noticed some flavor changes. Definitely a lot of the a lot of the saltiness and a lot of the bitterness I got at first has faded out. The sweetness has stayed. It's been replaced with a little bit of a sweet, maybe even a little bit of a tangy woodsiness there. The construction stayed great. The ashes have been dropping off nicely right into the ashtray. It's performed really well. I did notice I had to slow down a little bit. Lanceros are difficult to smoke. You cannot smoke them too fast or they will fall apart. And I noticed right at the front, just behind the burn line, it was beginning to swell a little bit as I was smoking it too fast. So I just had to slow up a little, and now it's performing well. So as I'm moving into the final third, I have noticed some more changes. One of the things was a lot of the sweetness that's been there kind of throughout has disappeared. The predominant flavors right now are still with the woods, a little bit on the burnt woods. Maybe I'm smoking it too fast. I'm also picking up an undercurrent of a roasted coffee. Another thing I've noticed, particularly after the first half, was that the jaws begin to close up a little bit. Maybe there's some oil building up at the back. I've had to just kind of gently massage it to keep it going a little bit. Overall, still performing well. The flavor change has been nice because it's not staying one-dimensional, but I gotta say the flavor in the last third is not quite my profile, so it hasn't been altogether pleasant. But overall, it's still smoked really well, and I've really enjoyed it. So for my final thoughts, I do want to say that at the beginning, it was not very strong. This was a mild to medium. It smoked well. It could be just an any time of the day smoke. But as I progressed in more and more, the oils have continued to awaken and sort of make themselves more prominent. I've definitely noticed a strength increase. I would actually consider this now a medium full body cigar, at least for me. It's still not altogether unpleasant, but it is a little stronger. So this month's HERF cigar was the Matilde Lancero. This is a 7x40. 40 is a little bit different ring gauge for a Lancero, and the reason why is because Jose Sejas, the creator of this brand, spent 40 years in the cigar business, and he wanted to make one just a little pinch bigger. It's got an Ecuadorian, Dominican, Habano wrapper with a Dominican Republic wrapper, fillers from the Dominican Republic, and just a pinch from Nicaragua.